Joe Zikas from YoChicago.com. I'm in the car with David Nadler from City Ranch Real Estate, and we're about to set off on a bargain hunting tour of Lincoln Park.
All right, Joe, we're off again looking at some rental property in the Lincoln Park Old Town area. And one thing that you and I have discussed a lot is the fact that condo rentals tend to provide a much better value than some of the managed rental buildings, and they're often overlooked because they're maybe not as heavily promoted. And so we're going to go through a list of about 10 recently rented condominiums in Lincoln Park rented by my firm and give you an idea of what you get for the money in the 1-bedroom, 2-bedroom, 3-bedroom, and 4-bedroom space, and talk along the way.
No studios?
I don't have any studios for you today.
It's a great strip along here, a lot of great restaurants, a fun place to walk. Terrific environment, one of the best in the city.
All right, so the first stop is 1749 North Wells,
which we can see ahead of us, the blank wall facing south. What were they thinking? Canelli Square? Hello?
These are details that you've got, Joe, that I don't...
David is shaking his head, but we are headed up to the building with the blank wall facing south.
Yep. It was probably
because who would care about south-facing views at this point?
So when the client asked to go and see some homes, this home stood out because it had an unobstructed east-facing view, all lake, all farmers market, and for a 1-bedroom, the price was asking $2,000. We got it for $1,700.
And right across the street, you have Nookie's, one of the best, always one of the best breakfast spots in the city of Chicago.
And yeah, you can't beat the location. And so, as an old
Treasure
town,
Island is just a few doors south of here. You got the great architecture. Terrific location.
So, as an old town 1-bedroom for $1,700. If you would compare that against some of the managed rental buildings in the area, it comes in substantially less expensive. This was all hardwood, stainless, and granite. The building has a fitness center. The building has a garage. And so obviously you see once again that the condominiums really provide a superior value when you're renting in Chicago.
In-unit laundry?
There's no in-unit laundry in this particular unit, no.
But you're not going to find that in the managed rental buildings in Chicago either, which are...
The newer ones you will, which are a lot more expensive, but
not in Lincoln Park, will you?
Not in Lincoln Park, no, not in Lincoln Park.
Right up ahead of us is the Hemingway House, another condo.
That's where we're going next.
Right across the street here, and also across the street from Canelli Square, you've got the great farmers market.
Farmers market on Wednesdays and Saturdays here in summer. Lincoln Park is a great part of Chicago, and many of your other videos highlight that. I don't need to repeat that, but I happen to live in Lincoln Park with my wife and daughter, so it's an area I know well, and it's an area that I do most of my business. So many of the people that come to me looking for rentals want to live in Lincoln Park, and they haven't seen these condominiums for whatever reason, and so our niche has been showing people these wonderfully improved condominiums, and they're getting them at a discount to the rentals.
Now, start comparing for me. If I were looking at Hemingway House, where we're headed, and Canelli Square that we just left, how would a 1-bedroom stack up from one building to the next?
Well, the thing about condominiums is they're obviously improved by the owner. They're not improved by a management company. So the units vary greatly from unit to unit. So some units are going to be, from the 60s when the buildings were built, and some units are going to be greatly improved, as the ones that I typically see are. And so what you're getting is a mixed bag, but you're getting the opportunity to get in the location and potentially a well-improved building. And then because it's a condominium, the common areas and the staff tend to be of higher caliber than in a rental. So the unit I have to talk about here at 1850 North Clark was unit 1109. We rented for $2140. and this was a couple of weeks ago. And it was a 2-bedroom, 2-bath with, again, a lake view. The building has an outdoor pool. And as you know, looking around at rental property in the area, to get a 2-bedroom, 2-bath with a pool, with a doorman in a high-rise with a view, what do you think that runs in a rental?
Looking in the high twos, typically.
I would say, yeah, $2,800, right?
And so, what was that number you gave me again?
This was $2,140.
$2,140.
There's more available like that. They're overlooked by a lot of people. Maybe people don't thoroughly understand the condominium rental space in Chicago, but it's really worth learning about. And the next one we're going to go to is 2020 North Lincoln Park West. I've rented homes in this neighborhood up and down the strip.
And that's a great building.
Yeah, this is I would say a step up from the Hemingway house in terms of the common amenities. It's got a larger gym, also has an outdoor pool, obviously also has a doorman.
And we're looking at it now.
Looking at it now, there's some wonderful outdoor space. We rented 2 here in the past 30 days. One was a standard improved hardwood stainless granite 2-bedroom, 2-bath that was asking $2,350. We got it for $2,100. There's a lot more. Another thing to talk about when you're talking about condominiums is there's negotiation. Whereas if you walk into a rental building, usually they tell you the rent is the rent, and there's no more conversation. So here we were able to negotiate down to $2,100 and get a 2-bedroom, 2-bath with all new appliances, stainless and granite. And then we also rented a 3-bedroom converted to a 2-bedroom on a corner in this building, and that one was asking $3,400. We got it for $3,000.
Now so, that building has a tennis court.
That building has 2 or 3 outdoor tennis courts.
Tennis courts. It also has the pancake house in the basement, which is terrific.
RJ Grunts across the street.
Yep.
And now we're much more mainstream Lincoln Park. We've got Francis Parker School up ahead here. And
you have one feature there I think that's unusual for a lot of the older Lincoln Park high-rises, and that's balconies.
Yes.
You don't find them in all the older high-rises here.
Outdoor space is a nice thing to have, and that's something that's unique about 2020. The next building that we recently rented in was one of your favorites, 350 Belden.
Built by the Ruttenberg family.
Built by Belgravia, and was the old Tower Records building. And there we were able to get a 2-bedroom, 2-bath for a client for $2,200. And this really demonstrates the significant value you get in a condominium versus a rental building, because in the corner of Clark and Belden, which is one of the most sought-after locations in Lincoln Park, a rental would be in the mid to high 2s in the 2-bedroom space, or even into the 3s, depending on the caliber.
And if I remember, those were large floor plans at a 350 building too.
Nice big unit. It's got a curved window looking over Clark Street, and for $2,200 they got again the hardwood, the stainless, the granite, all of the modern improvements. We've got Francis Parker School.
Francis Parker is right here. And of course, all the fabulous scenes along the park. You're just steps from Lincoln Park, literally here. This is 350 Belden.
This is 350 Belden. So we got one of these Clark Street facing 2-bedroom, 2-baths for $2,200.